What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. And today we're getting into my 6th conference tournament predictions video. Today we have the West Coast Conference tournaments here. If you follow college basketball, you know the West Coast Conference has always been a solid mid-major conference. A little bit of a down year for them, though. You know, Gonzaga's not the same Gonzaga we're used to. St. Mary's has had a good year, but obviously, other than that, you know, BYU's not in the conference anymore. They're still trying to adjust to that. But yeah, anyway, if you know about the West Coast Conference, it's a solid conference. It's tough for these mid-majors to topple Gonzaga and make the tournament, but that's just how it is if you're in this conference. But let's get into the standings, though, here. And that's going to start out with the number 1 seed, St. Mary's, finishing 15-1 in conference play. Their one loss came last night when they were at home to Gonzaga. So St. Mary's, other than that, have been dominant, though, but does bring you some worry that they lost by 13 at home to the Bulldogs, which, speaking of Gonzaga, they are the number 2 seed. Not typical for them to be anything but the 1 seed, but here we are. They're finishing 14-2 in conference play. And then the 3 seed is San Francisco, finishing 11-5 in conference play. 4 seed Santa Clara, 10-6 in conference play. Both of those programs are 2 solid programs right there. Then the 5 seed is San Diego, finishing 7-9 in conference play. 6 seed is Portland, where we have a 3-way tiebreaker here. And then 7 seed LMU, 8 seed Pepperdine, all of those teams finishing 5-11. And then the 9 seed is Pacific, finishing 0-16 in conference play. All right, but let's get into my predictions now, though. And that's going to start out with the first game, obviously, between Pacific and Pepperdine. And I do have to go with, in this game, I do have to go with Pepperdine here. Pacific's been obviously horrible in conference play so far. I don't see them pulling off the win. All right, and then now, moving on to the second round. You know, obviously, it's a little bit of a different bracket here in the WCC where, you know, you get the first round, then you get the 2 teams who had a bye from the first round going against that, then the bye, then another bye, all the way up to the semifinals where you have the top 2 seeds. But yeah, so that's how that works. The next game's on Friday. We have San Diego Pepperdine, 5 versus an 8 seed. I do have to go with San Diego in that game. Pepperdine's a decent enough team, but I don't think they would be able to beat San Diego, who's a good 5 seed. All right, 6 versus an 11 matchup. 2 evened out teams between Portland and LMU. Let's see the last time these 2 played. It's been a while. LMU dominated Portland back in January 25th by 17. So that's interesting. Does that come into effect here, though, nearly 2 months later? You know, I do have to go with LMU. I think I'm going to go with Loyola Marymount. You know, Portland's on a 2-game winning streak, but I do like LMU in that game as a 7 seed. So we are going to go with LMU. Okay, let's move on to this next round. The games that would be on Monday. Let me find it. Sorry, I exited out of it real quick. But the first game would be Santa Clara versus San Diego. 5 versus a 4-seeded matchup here. Obviously, you know, you have the San Diego team who's coming off a win. Santa Clara has to wait, get their rest a bit. I do have Santa Clara, though. Great Santa Clara program. They toppled down Gonzaga earlier this year, so I do like Santa Clara early, even though San Diego beat them on their home turf a while ago. Santa Clara bounced back, so they did split in the season series. But, yeah, give me the 4-seed Santa Clara. San Francisco versus LMU, 3 versus a 7 seed. And this one I think is pretty easy. San Francisco, they are on a 2-game losing skid, but I do like San Francisco more than I do LMU. It's a good San Francisco program, so give me San Francisco. All right, so now we have the semifinals. St. Mary's, Santa Clara here, obviously. St. Mary's only have had 1 loss in conference play. That was not to Santa Clara. So it's an interesting game. You know, the rest is interesting here. St. Mary's has to go with like a week and a day without playing. Meanwhile, Santa Clara gets that game versus San Diego. I do think that St. Mary's, they're a well-coached team. They'll be able to prepare for this one and still get their rest. So I am going to go with St. Mary's to beat Santa Clara, where we have Gonzaga, San Francisco. Maybe upset territory with San Francisco, but you got to go with Gonzaga and Mark Few squad. They just prove it time and time again in this conference that they can win. And then the championship, no surprises here. St. Mary's, Gonzaga. Gonzaga probably, the win last night probably, I would say, gets them a really good chance of making the tournament. St. Mary's, I think, is a lock. It would be nice for Gonzaga to get that automatic qualifier, though. I don't think it happens, though. I think St. Mary's responds. I think this is a better team, honestly. At this point, I like this St. Mary's program. So give me St. Mary's to win it all in the WCC. All right. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching this video today. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed the content. Comment down below your WCC conference tournament predictions. Anyway, guys, peace out.